If you can't kill a boss, no reason why you can't look like one. Moogle putting the wow in transmogs. I think this says Holy Paladin, or even Protection Paladin. Anyway, those are just my thoughts. Siege of Orgrimmar LFR version Garrosh Hellstream will drop those kind of blue, gray, gold shoulders that really work for Paladin, I have to say. The chest is going to spin you to Cata, Dragon Soul, Chest Guard of Radiant Glory, and the belt is going to bring us to Mop as well, but a different raid as the shoulders. The belt, Throne of Thunder Heroic, Cache of Storms, 12% on the drop rate for the bubbling anime belt. The bubbling anime belt. How does someone come up with that name for a belt? I will never know. The Lake Plates of Radiant Glory, part of the same tier set as the chest from Dragon Soul. The Guy Who Can't Sleep, just bring him some because he has too much no-dos, maybe just bring him some NyQuil, help him out. Maybe he'll give you the shoulders if you give him NyQuil. Siege of Orgrimmar LFR to get the feet, so that's a huge drop rate, 34%, so that's pretty good. The wrist, I'm not showing gloves, I'm showing the wrist here, so it's Siege of Orgrimmar LFR. Galakras is the boss. I like the wrist rather than showing the gloves there, and it works really well on a Blood Elf, as you can see. The Dread Aspirant's Cape. This is an alliance only, various forms of PvP. Eventually you'll probably be able to buy that for Marks of Honor, but any other blue cape will do if you're Horde. Also, Valak Quartermaster to get the headpiece, and the weapon, Dragon Soul War Master Blackhorn, kind of fair drop rate on the mace. This set is a little bit of Legion, a little bit of Mop, and it really, really works. I like the Tyrannical PvP set as well as the Wrathful PvP set. As a whole, for all the classes, I think, as a whole, those are two of the better sets I think Blizzard has ever put together. Let me know your thoughts of what your favorite PvP set is, or your favorite tier set is, because there certainly are quite a few of them. The chest, as you can see where to get that. We have a... Well, basically, it's a dwarf, and the dwarfs just move so much faster than everybody else. You got to get the belt out of Terrace of Endless Spring Light. She is the boss. The legs, part of the same tier set as the chest piece, which is from the Burning Throne Heroic. Varamathras is the boss, 12%, pretty decent drop rate. And we have, I believe, a Lady Draenei showing you Doomwalker War Boots, also part of the same tier set as the legs and the chest. Gorathi, Worldbreaker bosses, all those bosses drop it. Look at that cloak. Cloak really works well, I think. The hands, part of the Tyrannical set, which is part of the same PvP set as the shoulders. 2 marks of honor to get the hands from the Mop PvP vendor. Moving on, we're going to show you a Tauren with a bag, which is really ties perfectly with this set. You get it out of the Turan jungle. Supreme Lord Krasik is the boss. The headpiece, Titan's Subjugator's Visage, part of the same tier set as the chest, the legs, and the boots, and the weapon is straight out of Grimrail Depot. As you can see, good drop rate on the weapon. We're going to start off with the shoulders, which are silver and purple, obviously. The Bastina Twilight Heroic Cho'Gall is boss, 22% on the drop rate. I think there's also a set that's not a tier part set, but a lookalike set that drops that you can buy it on the auction house. Not 100% sure. Breastplate of Fierce Survival. Magistar's Terrace. Vaxalis is the boss, 15% on the drop rate to pick up the chest. Moving on to belt, which is straight out of Tomb of Sargeras. Looking for raid version, Harjadin is the boss. And you got about a 5% drop rate on the silver and purple Paladin belt. And the legs are part of a old BC set, green set, blue set, something like that. Karazhan BC version, Echo of Medivh, 5% on the drop rate for the legs. Now we're going to show you the feet, Silver Sabatons of Fury, which you buy from the Valak Quartermaster, Stormwind Orgrimmar, 80 gold. So you can see I didn't put a cloak on this one, but you could find some purple cloak if you really want it. There's a few that would go really well with this, come to think of it now. Flash Freeze, Gauntlets, Black Wing Descent Heroic, Maloriak is the boss, 15% on the drop rate to pick up the hands. We have a dude Chorin showing you the Glaciated Helm, the Bastillion of Twilight Heroic Elementium Monstrosity, and the Tabard Order of the Awakened Tanan Jungle, Order of the Awakened Quartermaster, Exalted Wrap, as well as some gold. and the weapon, which is really cool. It says 5 marks of honor, but you might have to buy the whole weapon gig. You can farm these shoulders straight out of the Firelands, or you could just step up and buy them from the Justice Quartermaster for very cheap, 70 gold. So Stormwind, Orgrimmar, make sure you go to the right place. Moving on, you're going to see how this really fits in nicely with his chess piece from Mop. Throne of Thunder LFR version. Jinrock the Breaker is the boss. Moving on, we're going to show you the belt, which is a belt that you're going to get straight out of the Siege of Orgrimmar. The secured stockpile of Pandaren spoils. Drop it. It's called the Plate Belt of the War Healer. And the legs are part of the same set, I believe, but oddly enough, this one drops from regular Throne of Thunder. Lychee is the boss. Leg plates of Whipping Ionization. I wonder who comes up with these names, man. They are hysterical. The feet, War Boots of the Mighty Lords, Cata level blacksmithing, so that's really easy to get. I think it also drops at a Blackwing Descent, not 100% sure though. You can check Wowhead for that. The hands, Immolation Gloves, Stormwind Orgrimmar, Quartermaster, gold, easy to pick up, or you could just try to farm it out of the Firelands. Moving on, we're going to show you a dwarf who's always looking like he's running to get a beer. Yeti Fur Cloak. Now, you really can't get this cloak anymore. I know I don't like doing that, but the fact is, it just went so well with this set, and you might already have it. Dreadful Gladiators ornamented whatever, so that's a PvP piece. And the weapon you could see straight out of the Cata PvP vendor. I do believe teal and gold work for a paladin. It's a little bit of a different look. Valorous Redemption, shoulder guards. 25 man next. Ramus Lotheb is the boss. 45% on the drop rate, so it's a good drop rate, obviously. The chest, straight from the Mop PvP vendor, 3 marks of honor to get the Malevolent Gladiators ornamented chest guard, or you could just buy it on the auction house as well. The belt, as we have a dwarf showing you the belt of the Forgotten Martyr. Trial of the Crusaders. Normal mode, 25 man, and a Narark. I can't say that. He's a spider or some kind of arachnophobic thing. The legs are part of the same tier set as the chest. Mop PvP vendor. You can buy it on the auction house. 3 marks of honor. We have a Lady Blood Elf showing you the Grievous Gladiators War Boots of Cruelty. If you're Horde Prideful, Gladiators War Boots of Cruelty, 2 marks of honor to get the boots. Doing the spin. No, I didn't put a cape on this one because I thought it looked good without it. The hands, part of the same tier set as the legs and the chest piece. So that's the Mop PvP vendor, or buy it on the auction house. 2 marks of honor to get the hands. A Zandalari Troll showing you the Angler's Tabard, which you're going to have Exalted rating and a little bit of gold to buy it. The headpiece, Malevolent Gladiators, ornamented head cover, Mop PvP vendor, so that's pretty easy to pick up. And the weapon, Crypt Maker, Icecrown Citadel, Heroic 25 man, great drop rate. For those of you that like gold and white, well, I guess gold and white really does work for Paladin. You got to get the shoulders out of the Burning Throne Mythic. Admiral Virax is the boss, 8% on the drop rate. Moving on, we're going to spin you to Vanilla to get the Lawbringer's Chest Guard, Molten Core. As you can see, the boss, I think it drops from other bosses, lower drop rates though. 18% on the chest. I usually show the boss that drops with the best rate. We have an Iron Dwarf showing you the Judgment Belt, which is at a Blackwing Lair. So you can see the boss, 20% on the drop rate for that old tier Paladin set. Moving on, we're going to show you the legs, Lawbringer leg plates, Molten Core. Magmadar is the boss, 16% on the drop rate. And moving on, we're going to show you the feet, which are Grim Sabaton's Tarokar Forest. It drops from a rare there, or you could just step up by it on the auction house. Pretty good drop rate at 26%. The hands, or the gloves, are part of the same tier set as the shoulders. That would be the Burning Throne Mythic version. Shatug is the boss. 5% on the drop rate. Sticking with the... Nope, moving on to a Zandalari Troll. And the back is Tumasar Garrus, the Desolate Host. Name of the back is called Radiant Lightbringers, blah, blah, blah. So that works. The headpiece is Jewel Crafting. So you're going to have to find your local jewel crafter or buy it on the auction house. And the weapon, straight out of Firelands, 12% on the drop rate. If you're still listening up and until now, I want to say thank you for watching, and I'll close out by saying what I always say: whatever it is by you, whether it is morning, afternoon, or night, make your day epic.